Welcome to Spark of Fate. I am your very nervous DM for his first time, bringing in a bunch of people. Um, and so I'm really bad at this, and I don't really know what else to say other than uh, I'll get started. So, each of you are currently in your own worlds when you pretty much hear like this ping in your head, and everything goes dark. It's sudden. You might be working on something. You might be running from something. You might be fighting something. Everything just goes. The next thing you hear is a voice, and I still have not decided what kind of voice it's gonna be. So it'll just come out in here in just 1 second. I think I'll make it an old man.
Do it.
It's gonna say, "Hello. I apologize for this intrusion.
Speak up.
Hi.
Have you seen the Herodric Cube?
God dang it. I'm sorry. As my old man voice, I'm sorry if it sounds like Deckard Cain. I have summoned you all to a new world, and now me to explain. Long ago, when the cosmos was created, I watched as the stars flew across the expanse. uh, and I admired the beauty that was the chaos born from the Big Bang. I couldn't even look it up. However, at a point, a thought popped in my head, and that thought said, chaos is beautiful, but order is necessary. However, because of that disagreement in my own mind, I split. And thus was born two from one. We discussed both order and chaos for millennia. Those discussions turned to arguments, and arguments grew heated. Before we clashed, we realized that if we were to continue down this path, all the cosmos would be destroyed. And so we came to an agreement. We would choose champions from across worlds and pull them to a new one, both agreed upon, to accomplish tasks to determine the outcome of the universe. Whether order or chaos would, that will be decided by how you act. I am the entity that finds chaos of nature to be right. My counterpart has also collected champions. We will give you tasks, and if you can succeed, then the worlds will be back to how they were. If you fail, then the world will be reborn, and order will take control of everything. Everything will be predetermined, and no one will have free will. So, I will put you into this world, and you will all awaken with each other. There are 6 of you. Your first task, you must find the Song of Kings. If you can do this, then I will know you are truly worthy from the spark that I gave you so long ago. And as that happens, you see a light. The light grows and emerges, and every one of you opens your eyes in a circle with 5 other people. I will go ahead and allow you guys to describe yourselves. I will start from the top of this list right here. Cyrus, start with you.
So Mulch is a dwarf. He's just a second. Oh, roll 20. Why do you do this to me? It's not letting me open up my character sheet. That's sad. All right, let's just go off what I remember. Mulch is a dwarf in. You see him sitting cross-legged, probably eyes still closed, even, grumbling under his breath. He's sitting in full plate armor and opens his eyes and looks around. I know meditating wouldn't come of anything except trouble. Okay.
All right. Next up is Fox.
The hell you mean I'm down here?
I'm going on an order I see, so you describe yourself.
Oh, I see.
You're all awakening to each other, standing in a circle. Standing, sitting, however. You there? Right.
Fuck.
I think.
Did we lose
Hello?
him?
Oh,
Oh,
there
there
you
you
are.
Hello. Can you skip me for now, please? Right here,
That's
that's big.
fine. We'll go to James.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Marin is probably the most boring person in the party because he's a plain old human. He's wearing green and brown robes over studded leather armor, and he's got various accoutrements that you would expect of an adventurer. You know, he's got a component pouch, he's got a man purse, a satchel where he keeps his book, a backpack, and all that. And he's probably like sprawled out on the ground, and then he like rolls over and sits up, and he's wearing these gold and silver glasses that have violet lenses, so he's totally Elton John. And he's got a circlet on his head that comes around to the front, and it almost looks like it's armor for the forehead, with a horn coming out, modeled after like the horn of a unicorn. He's like, he looks over at this fruit bat that's crawling around on the ground. He's like, "Oh, me head! I don't think. Where are we, Zamzam?"
All right. As that's happening, we'll move on to Jesta.
Okay. Well, you see an orc. He's not actually standing. He's crouched. He's very, very muscular, and he's crouched because when everything went black, he was in the process of hunting something. He's a little bit confused here, but he has long, kind of roughish hair, pretty feral looking, but he's got most of it tied back up into a top knot. At this point, he's wearing studded leather armor. He's got his skin is it's kind of a grayish green, and it's a little bit. Actually, you know what? No, it's not. It's actually white, and he has his eyes are more his eyes are like a yellowish color, and he's certainly he has this really bizarre look about him, and he's got several tribal tattoos on him, one of which is I don't know if you could actually see it or not. It's probably maybe it's on the inside of one of his palms or whatever, that he's got a tattoo of a hook with entrails on it. And he appears to be looking around cautiously. He's very definitely a savage. He's got a great axe, couple of hand axes, some javelins. He's definitely not a civilized individual. You can just almost feel a just a slight tingle of chill being anywhere next to him.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is JJ.
Ah! That was an odd tomb. His brown hair kind of drapes over his shoulders as he sits up. His blue robes are kind of dirty from being on the ground at this point. But he's gathering himself, and he notices the tomb that he carries around is lying wide open, making a lot of noise, and he's right now struggling to close it right now.
So
Oh,
next
God.
up is Mike.
Okay.
Yes.
You see. Thank you, James. So you see like out of like this clay pot that's full of water, just this like yellow frog man like splashes out and is like looks around for a second, does like a real like a slow blink where like one eyelid closes before the other, and like kind of looks around and then just goes and then just like starts like searching through his shit like there until he like finds a small frog statue, holds it above his head, looks at it, and then sets it on the ground and just starts bowing to it.
All right. And we'll go back to Doc.
Sorry about that. I was hitting my router with a hammer. I think it worked. Still probably in a seated position, not realizing that they've changed positions, reading a book, just slowly looking up. Standing up in a tall, lean man wearing what could be described as I guess you could call it a trench coat, lab coat, that basically goes down to their knees, seaweed-colored hair and red eyes brimming behind what could really only be described water around their face, spewing from pipes that appears to be a giant tank on their back.
Is a certain thing swimming around in that right now?
Maybe. That's up to you.
Yeah, no, I said, yeah, you're fine. You have a little.
Yeah, he'd probably be helping me read my book.
Yeah. All right. So he's got a little eel swimming around inside, little bubble of water. Yeah. All right. So he's got. All right. Yeah. So you've all awakened in kind of a clearing of a forest. It is getting close to evening. The sun's getting pretty low. But there is a path nearby. But I assume you're probably gonna want to, introduce yourselves.
Yeah.
A couple things is, anyone who is like a monster race does suddenly, if anything, have an understanding of common. Even if they can't speak it that well, that's still fine. For everyone's sake, what's your character's name, Doc?
Oh, I guess. So I'm Zaxi. I'm Zaxi.
You're what?
Hello, I'm Zaxi.
Xeraxes. Okay. Xeraxes has a eel swimming around his head, and it does translate everything you guys say. So, like, Ika, I'm assuming you probably said something like, "Where is it? Where is it?"
Yeah, pretty much. He was like, "Where am I? Where's my thing?" Or he said, "Where am I? Where is Ika?"
Okay.
That's what he said.
So, and that will help. I think that's really good. At this point, it's all up to you guys. You're standing around a bunch of strangers. You do have this inkling that you might have prejudice against them, but you have this feeling that you're supposed to cooperate. That's kind of what the entity put inside you. That's the spark.
Well, never imagined I'd have to work with an orc. But it was, I guess, for a good cause.
Yeah, for his part, Grunum kind of looks at you for a moment and gives you that sort of like, what is this fucker gonna do look? And when you say that, he starts looking around as if he's looking for something. I mean, and he kind of like he's mostly going to observe what's going on right now, but he does kind of like maybe he just kind of is like, I'm Grunum.
Yeah, Marin
As he kind of looks around.
Marin, for his part, like rolls over and then like forces himself back up to his feet, and then he's like fixing all his stuff. Like his robe was only like hanging on by one arm. He slips back into it, readjusts because there's a bit of like armor over the robe, like on the shoulders. Runs a hand through his like ashy blonde hair. Looks at everyone as this little fruit bat starts clambering up his back. It's like, well, guess we got to know each other. I'm Marin.
So I walk straight up to Ika, and I'm like, fascinating. And I pull out my book and ink and quill and start.
Yeah. Good.
Curving like how long it is and stuff like that.
Yeah, Ika looks back at you, does that like slow blink again, and then he just says very calmly, Ika, ah! Which the person who understands that would realize that he just said, "You oaf, what are you doing?" Ika does not want.
I'm sorry, I don't get out in the field very often. This is a opportune time. I gotta record all I've seen.
Ika picks up his little statue and he like raises it above his head, like very ceremonially, bows his head, and goes, Ika, and then just sets it down back on his little sled.
Yeah. Marin sees Ika and is like, "Oh Sam, look at that thing! It's adorable."
Hey Sassy, for Ika, would it be speak with animals or would it be comprehend languages?
It'd be comprehend language because it's grung.
Yeah, your helmet understands what he's saying.
Yeah.
Now you can choose to translate for the party right now.
Yeah, because right now they don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're just like.
And Marin is going to try and pick you up and put you on your sled.
No!
As soon as you try and pick him up, Ika looks and goes, Ika, and like runs away, like and starts like throwing up.
What's the actual hell have I gotten myself into again?
Well,
Yeah.
I
By the way,
didn't mean to scare him. I just wanted to put him on his little sled.
the translation, by the way, is "Don't touch me. I'm poisonous. You're gonna hurt your."
He's saying he's what's his right word? He'll make you very sick.
Oh.
So I'm already like moving my hand and like there's like this viscous thing on my hand. I'm like, the viscosity is pretty thick.
Is that my viscosity? Because if it is, I will tell you that you're gonna have to make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw or become poisoned for a minute.
I mean, that's probably what's gonna have to happen.
We all learn the hard way.
For science.
For science.
Yep.
So let's see, roll a d20.
So you'll go on your character sheet and it'll say saving throws kind of near the top under the you'll go on section your sheet,
Right.
and you'll click Constitution.
Boom.
Hey.
Nice.
You're good.
You feel a slight tingling.
Huh. I'll have to record this.
Are we done playing? We've got
sorry.
stuff to do.
I didn't even. I'm sorry. I'm not used to seeing
Keep
so
your
many new
apologies
people.
to yourself.
Right.
I got a question. Would I know enough about grung to know that you shouldn't touch one? I have nature. Is that something I could roll?
Were you from a jungle setting?
No, actually.
Well,
Yeah, 'cause
Grung's a
Grung-
bright-colored creature. The one thing.
No, because I'm from a more tundra setting.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I was like, I know like bright-colored creatures in nature, period, usually mean, hey, stay away from me. But if you're from like a tundra, yeah, you're not. But I mean, you do understand common. So what they're saying, you would understand because they're talking common right now.
Yeah.
So you would have heard like, "Will make you sick."
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Curiosity.
So I'm pretty sure there's something in the. I'm pretty sure there's something in the nature in the tundra that has a poisonous, sheen on it or something. I could probably draw a comparison there.
Oh, there are slugs and snails in tundras, believe it or not, and most of them are incredibly poisonous because if it ain't just something trying to freeze you to death, it's also something trying to eat you.
It's all dependent on your world too.
True.
You could have like freaking sparrows in the tundra for all I know.
All right.
Well, we certainly have ravens. That's one thing we do have.
Do you have
Nice.
bats?
I don't know if they're snow bats, maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Marin
There's-
like looks over at Zam and says, "All right, go see where we are," and like picks him up with both hands and throws him up in the air as you see this magical bat start flapping its wings and fluttering off into the sky.
Not
The
prepared.
dwarf clears his throat and says, "All right. So, I see we've got what? Ika, right? Marin. I didn't catch the orc's name. What was your name?"
He just kind of looks over his shoulder at you because he's starting to walk towards the path at this point. He stops for a second, turns around, and looks at you. And he kind of narrows his eyes a little bit. He says,
Oh, pathetic.
"I am Grunum, the gut fisher." And turns
Alright.
back around and starts looking for signs of like animals or what's going on. Just kind of checking the area out.
Yeah, there's definitely signs of like game and stuff that have moved through.
Don't worry, Tess.
All right.
Yeah.
I just can't find it right now. There's
Don't
signs that
worry,
it's there,
Tessa,
but I
he's not
have no
going to
idea
eat
which way they went. Like,
Yeah.
can't tell if they came from this direction or that one.
Well, that's
yeah.
why I threw Zam up.
Right.
But they did poop here.
Yeah, they did. Probably step.
He's gonna look and say, "All right. So, name's Mulch. I suggest we get moving while we can."
The night is dark and full of terror.
You are likely to be eaten by a grue.
Oh god. So Zam flying up. I'll give you a brief overview. You're on the edge of a pretty large forest, like a clearing near the edge. So in one direction you just see an expanse of trees and some mountains. There's a couple smoke trails here and there, probably like encampments or towns. Opposite the other direction, you do see what looks like could be a couple buildings and a smoke trail from a building. Like not a fire, like a what's it called? Fireplace, yeah. Like a fireplace.
Chimney?
Yes, that's it. Sorry, still a little nervous. I'm getting
You're
there.
good, you're good.
Yeah, like a chimney. You do see what looks like could be a civilization of some sort.
Oh.
Yeah, so anyone who's watching... Oh. Anyone who's been watching Zam, he flies up enough and like starts looking around. And by the way, you've never seen a bat able to hover in place while they fly. They just can't do that. But he keeps flying a little bit higher and a little bit higher, and then like just disappears in a little poof of magical dust, and then is back on Marin's shoulder, and is in his ear like.
Ika looks at that.
Dozen.
Ika looks at that. It's like, ooh,
Was that Zam?
Yes,
Alright.
it's a frog, yes.
Yes, we go that way, Zam. Zam says so anyway. Said there's a couple buildings and a chimney, and it's better than wandering off into the forest.
Oh, here's your.
It's probably harpies everywhere. Stay
Yeah,
together. Wolves hunting
I think-
tight.
Well, it's the first time
Probably.
I've trust a bat. But
Grunum is looking at the trees. He is very specifically looking for like ravens.
Raven?
Yeah, he's looking for ravens.
It is almost dusk, or it is dusk, so there's bugs flying around, so that means the birds are out. You probably see a couple flying around, just normally, like you're in a forest, so.
Like how many exactly?
Okay, you mother.
No, there's a reason for it.
roll a random number. Roll
Yeah.
a d20 or something.
I'll just. Wow, that was my first dumb mistake.
And I'll never forgive you for it.
Well, I whispered myself, D20.
No.
Alright. Okay, yeah, I like that. Thank you, Doc. There's about 12 that you can see flying around.
Ooh, 12.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Grunum counts them. It counts them and he goes, the signs are very potent. Could be very, very good or very, very bad.
What
I'm
the
going to
hell
go
are you
with
talking
good.
about?
Huh?
What in the hell are you talking about?
The signs. And that's all he really says in the way of explanation. He says, he's just like, talking about the signs. If you read them, you
Ooh,
would
I-
know. And then just
interesting.
kind of turns and
I-
then kind of like looked heads down the path.
Orcs
No,
for
but-
probability.
You can do what you
50,
want.
50.
I'm going that way. Follow the orc.
Yeah, Marin's following the orc, and he's like, remember, stick close, because wolves hunt in packs.
Hey, Sassy, as we're walking along, are any of them close enough for me to because I'm just ritually casting it, could I speak to any of the crows nearby? Or ravens?
Well, let's see. Well, you have comprehend language. Oh wait, speak with animals. Are you trying to like speak with one or just
Yeah,
listen to what they're saying?
more just like get their attention.
These can do- Okay, so speak with animals. You gain the ability to comprehend, and communicate. So you can try to get their attention. Food is definitely going to be the biggest thing right now. Although
Oh,
they're
I'll wave some jerky above my head.
One of them kind of flies down, curious at why this strange man beast is holding a food, or I don't know what they'd call it. Yeah, food.
Hello, Zitavan. What are we looking at ahead of us?
Trying to think. They're limited by their intelligence. Crows are highly intelligent. They would say people, group of people, food, lots of food.
Finally.
Lots
Someone
of
that
food.
we could talk to for directions.
Thank you, Zitavan. You have yourself a wonderful day.
It grabs the jerky and kind of flies up. A couple other crows swoop in to try to take the jerky from it. There's a little scuffle in the air as crows are off to do. But eventually they settle down and start pecking at it.
Up ahead, there's some people and some. It appears to be some food as well.
We'd best be careful then. Bandits prowl these roads. At least, I think they do.
Right.
So I mean, like the entire time I'm kind of eyeing Ika, and I'm like, tell me, were you always sentient?
Does anyone else actually understand what he's saying, by the way? Or is it just me?
Actually, my character actually can comprehend all languages, I believe.
Oh wait, you're a great old one warlock, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do understand what he's saying. Ika.
Oh, thank goodness.
Ika says in Grung, because he refuses to speak common unless he absolutely has to.
Yeah.
He looks at you and he says, what do you mean, was I always sentient? What a dick question. And then, like, looks back at his sled and sees everyone, like, moving, and he goes, hey, wait for me. You guys just hear, Ika, sort of thing, and he, like, grabs the sled.
We're waiting, Zitavan, we're waiting.
Goblins ill like fire, by the way, and they're always found in forests.
Grunum again kind of almost scoffs from the front, from the lead. Goblins.
I'm
Yeah,
not very
Marin's just
devout guy.
spouting random little tidbits. Things like that are like, we'd best stay together. Even weaklings in a pack are not weaklings.
Someone understands goblins.
I look over at I probably look over at I find my way to the front to Grunum, and I look at him and say I say, human, talk.
And he just looks at you for a minute, and Grunum looks down at you for a minute and goes, they do that. And he's just going, they do that. And he continues walking. And he's kind of still keeping his eyes out, making, kind of looking around, trying to keep his bearings as to where he's going and what's ahead of him.
Right.
There's some actual people ahead of us, Miss, what's your name again?
You're talking to the orc?
Yes.
Grunum.
There's
Grunum
some...
the gut fisher.
Well, then you probably don't like me very much. As I put I put a, like, basically fish to my chin.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah.
okay, he didn't describe that part of him. I guess he is a simic hybrid, so he's like part aquatic creature, part elf. Is it?
Vidalkin.
Vidalkin, yeah. So he does look very fish-like.
Yeah.
I do hope we can get Zazan, Miss Gums.
He just kind of grunts at you, and he says, we'll see. The signs 12 is divisible by 3.
Oh no.
4
Oh,
could be a
no.
bad number, could be a good number.
Time cube. Sorry.
And you like, maybe it strikes you, if you know anything about orcs, that he's actually seems a bit smarter than your average orc, even
Yeah.
especially for a savage.
I guess you
Like,
could say as smart as
did
the average.
division. He did basic, he did division, shit that most people need schooling for.
Oh my god.
Yes, that's rather impressive. You
I've never seen this before.
as expertise.
And
Friday.
he's like, yeah, he just kind of looks around, and he's like, people.
Yes,
What
up
kind
ahead.
of people?
From what the crows were telling me, it's a group of individuals with food.
With food.
Yes.
That's why I've been saying that we need to stick close in case the bandits. Never
I
just
don't-
attack
I'm-
blindly.
I'm not worried about some bandits, Miss. What's your name?
Marin Fourcaller.
Mr. Marin, I don't think we have to worry about bandits. As I look around to the large array of random fucking individuals.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. Like I said, a weakling in a group. They're not weak no more.
So, how close are we to these buildings? Can we
Whatever.
see the smoke yet?
Yeah,
You're
would
getting
we?
close.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So
it's getting a little dark out, but you do see what looks like a small town.
at this
So-
point, I
so this is
close
fine.
my book and I'm like, all right, I guess I can record some more later. I think I'm spent.
God,
But
night is long, I suppose. And very dark. I
are
can't
you
see.
tired?
Yeah, Grunum is probably kind of looks around for a minute. It's like, because he didn't, he understands cities, but he doesn't really trust people who are from other cultures. He didn't even trust people from other orcs from other tribes, or at least he's
And-
slow to anyway.
Are any of you good with the speaking with the common?
Everyone likes me. I don't know why, but whenever I go to little places like this, I always make a few friends. I was about
If
to
you
ask
say
if, your name's Feanor, right? I asked the half-elf.
Oh, basically, you probably saw it on like a cover of a book. I'm absolutely sorry. I haven't introduced myself. Yes, I am Feanor. I am a scholar, a sage.
Yeah.
I was wondering, are we close enough to the buildings to kind of discern any details?
Yes, that's a good question.
They're made of like wood, like log buildings. There's a couple stone ones. The outlying ones look like they're just made out of the nearby trees. But it looks like a civilized kind of town, not just some thrown together cobble.
What are the people looking like? Regular humans?
You don't see people.
Oh, well, isn't this just a warm welcome?
It's
Marin holds out his hand to Feanor and is like, "It's a pleasure to meet you, Feanor. Like I said, my name's Marin Farcaller. You and me, and I don't mean offense to any of yous, I think we're the most normal in the bunch."
No sheets.
Ika looks at you. He does that slow blink again, and then he just continues to move his sled.
Sad because it's true.
Are you
So-
saying you don't
so-
have dwarves where you're from?
My
I actually first thought you
response
were a
to
small
Marin,
person.
my response to
He
Marin
looks
is,
like you.
I
Says,
mean,
I've kneecapped people for less than that, mate. Watch your tongue.
All we got is humans, goblins, harpies. Humans are the only
you're
nice
from an
I mean,
things.
I've never in my life been able to actually go out in the field and see these things. So I'm actually ecstatic. This is quite an experience.
Anyway,
It's wonderful to do the research, am I right?
you
Absolutely.
and I. Wait, you got funny ears. Regardless, you and I, we'll go up
You've
there
never
and see.
seen an elf?
What's an elf?
What kind of backwards place do you come from?
You've never seen the elf?
No elves, no
Ika's
frogman.
which means you've never seen an elf.
I love it. I fucking love it. Just for
Your-
continuity, I'm just gonna keep the comprehend on constantly.
Just,
Well, it is always your eel translates for you. Remember I said that's your
Yeah, that's perfect.
just, whatever. I ain't seen an elf, but what I do know is I've seen wolves before, and wolves mean guards. So, Feanor,
Do
you and I will go up there and see if we can convince them to let our merry band through.
There's actually no walls.
Oh.
It's an open settlement kind of thing.
is there any guards?
No, you don't see anyone.
Well, then we'll just wander into.
Is it dark?
It is getting dark.
As
It's
I
not
said.
dark, but the sun is getting really low. The sun's getting low, big guy.
I would like to. I'd like to make a single note, and that is that Ika has taken a candle and affixed it on top of his large flat head and lit it. Because it's getting dark and he wants to see.
Yeah, Marin is
you-
already straining to see in the dark.
Wait, none of you can see in the dark?
I mean, the sun's still up, but
Oh,
it's
I forgot. Humans can't see without torches or some source of light.
I
Such a
know
shame.
it. It sucks, doesn't it?
I forgot to pack torches.
Do
Damn
you
it,
need
Albert.
Dwarves don't
some?
need torches. That's one of the first lessons you'll learn.
Do
But
you
Albert never told me to bring torches. But he's like, "Oh, I got all the torches."
do you need
Yeah.
fan?
No, not yet. But Zamzam can see for me. Isn't that right, little buddy?
I can see fine for now. It's not too dark.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, as you guys, are you entering the town now?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as you enter,
Bruno is very comfortable with this. He's got his axe in his hand. He's not at ease here.
yeah, you don't see anyone moving around. All the houses look empty. There's like a couple what look like they could be shops. They have large windows. And then you do hear something, but I need perception rolls to see how well you.
Oh, I'm so fucked.
Oh, if this is this a hearing one?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, then Zamzam he'll have advantage on it
I'm so fucked.
because he's a bat.
I'm not the very perceptive man. I'm underwater.
Oh, that's Zamzam. He didn't hear it.
Wow, he's in your robes. They're muffling everything. Okay. Wow. Ika, Grunam, and Feanor, you catch the direction of what the sound is. Ika actually hears it. It's it's slightly musical in nature. It's coming somewhere from, I'll just say like the northeast of you in the town, coming in from the south.
I look over at the whole party and I go, yes, sir. And then just look towards the direction, point, and then look back at the party expectantly.
I
Where
guess
is
that
it?
means something's there.
Probably.
I would
I'm going-
go.
I don't hear anything under the water.
Under the sea.
Yeah.
Under the sea.
I think
Just to clarify, you see danger?
No, he said music.
Music? Okay.
Yeah.
Just a minute.
I
So
said music in common because
Yeah.
I was like, these only half of these idiots don't even get what I'm saying half the time.
Well,
He
that's
likes it
okay.
that way.
Marin, not being the brightest in the, not being the sharpest in the shed, just starts wandering towards the music. He's like, "Well, come on, it's probably just a festival night or something."
Hey, since when has anything around here seemed normal so far?
How about I go
Normally-
first to seize every reaction? Because if they hit me, then
Well, they might hit you
Very-
because you're kind of funny looking.
that's not very
As I was
nice.
saying,
I'm
you
not.
see any of the lights on?
I'm not saying that I think that you're funny looking. I'm just saying that other people might.
Never mind.
I know I'm a zipper. It's okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's.
we're all kind of funny looking on the inside, though.
I like you. I
Grunham
like.
actually
I
kind of
really
laughs
like.
at this. Grunham actually finds this humorous, and he goes,
I actually likes you. What was your name again, Miss the person with the book?
Feanor. Yes, I am a sage. Yes, I have record things for historical purposes.
I think we will get along, Mr. Man.
Yeah, though, just to be safe, I do ready my book and a ink pen or quill.
There's no reason for us to run in with dangerous weapons.
It's a book.
And aren't you an arcane person?
Oh no, I write funny little squiggles in the book, and things just show up and fight for me.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm not even going to argue.
"Yeah." Grunham doesn't believe a word of this, but he's still amused by the whole funny looking on the inside joke. So
Let's Groom, let's go check out what the hell is going on.
Oh yeah, like Marin was already walking that way because he was just like, "Oh, it's just probably people having a party."
As you draw closer, you do see a large building. Could be like a town hall. It's kind of hard to tell. It is the largest building in, so you can make what you want from that. You do see light coming from the windows.
Yeah, I'll just put my quill back. It's got like its own little container on the spine of the book.
Nice.
I put the book back, and I'm just gonna go and politely knock on the door.
Well, shall we make an entrance, gentlemen?
Grunham does not, however, put up his great axe.
You are closer now, so you hear the music is. So no one responds because knocking on the door.
Yeah,
No one responds, but the door isn't locked. Like I said, it looks kind of like a town hall. Kind of.
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn the knob and
It opens up.
make my way in.
Ika is gonna set up camp outside of the thing.
I don't blame you.
All right. So who all went in?
I'll go ahead and put
So I can describe what you see.
I kind of actually want to know, like, when we open the door, does anybody notice this large, like, really bizarre orc standing
No.
outside with an axe in his hand?
No one's turning. You just see everyone kind of just sitting down at tables. There is a bar, everyone's just sitting at tables and staring at what probably is the source of the singer. You just can't see from outside. I mean,
How tall again were you just?
I'm trying to think. I think I set him at like 6'4", I think.
Oh, I'm waiting.
I think he's
Oh.
6'4", and he's probably close to 300 pounds.
Big boy.
He's a big, beefy, massive, you know.
Thick with 3 C's.
He is a big, yeah, he's a big orc barbarian. I mean, he's kind of.
Sassy, should I edit my weight for what I am?
it's fine. We're not going to be too concerned about it.
Okay, good. I was worried for a second.
All right. So, as you enter, you do see what looks like probably the entire town, all sitting at tables. A lot of them are standing because they're in the room. They have tankards. They have food. They're just all staring at a woman, and she is singing a song. It's a burlesque. No. And this woman is beautiful. Like, you look at her, beautiful for a human, I guess. Obviously,
What
you
the
know,
fuck's
work
that
might.
mean?
Well, because Bruno's not gonna look at a human woman, and be like, "Oh, she's beautiful." I
Where do you
think
think half-orcs come from?
Right.
true. True.
This
But
is
he
this
said-
is the thing. Like orcs don't have the highest of beauty standards.
All
Yeah.
I'm saying
And
is you've never heard of a
women are
half dwarf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half orc. Yeah, exactly. They happen for a reason.
Yeah, you're mad because she doesn't have a beard.
Yeah.
Do they respond to our entrance?
Yeah. So as you
Um,
enter,
I just wanted to say that I did decide to stay out with Ika, by the way.
it's fine.
Smart lad.
You see Ika starting to cultivate his own tiny little mushroom
I love it.
really quickly.
Yeah. She turns to everyone who just entered, looks you in the eyes, smiling. And I need you all to make a wisdom saving throw.
All
Oh
us-
no!
Everyone who entered
Okay.
the tavern inn thing.
Mm,
Oh, wait,
Take-
I need to go
Take
back.
that.
yeah, that is not Grunum's strong point.
Yeah, I'm kind of fucked, guys.
Aww.
Oh,
Well,
wait, maybe not.
Let's see if Zamzam can save me. Bring that back over.
I might not be fucked.
The bat does not care.
All right. Is that everyone?
I think so.
Two,
Looks like
three.
it.
Yeah, 4 people. Okay. So yeah, Marin and Grunim, you are soothed. You feel relaxed. You're just kind of staring at her, entranced. Zaraxis and Mulch, you do know that it was a charm effect, but she's just smiling and singing, staring at everyone,
Hi,
moving
is
around.
there anything this
Is that
lovely?
really necessary?
Yeah,
Ugh.
Zamzam probably like crawls back out of his robes and like bites Marin on the cheek.
Does someone as beautiful as you really needs these magic?
I'm going. It's just. I just
I guess
mutter under my breath. Magic users, you know a spell or two, and you decide you got to use it every time you get the.
And I
I
like
know what you mean.
I'm arguing with Zam, like I pick him. I'm like, why'd you bite me? She
Yeah.
was.
Marin, the relaxed feeling leaves.
Yeah, and he's like,
feel
oh, that was magic. Literally.
But you know, if your guys are across a whole room from her, so Zaraxis, she can't really hear what you're saying over her own voice.
Oh no, that's fine. I was pretty much saying it under my breath.
Oh, okay. Everyone else just is sitting there watching.
I guess she's really the only person of note here, so Marin will approach her, still angrily holding Zam for biting him.
Hold on. Don't rush in this.
I'm just gonna say hello.
Yeah, she backs up a little bit, concerned, raises an eyebrow,
Hello.
continues.
You're just interrupting a singer, just like
Oh,
Like-
ooh,
She
Well,
was in
no.
the middle of a song.
we're not
so,
from
like,
around here. We gotta ask some questions.
She
Let's start with the.
talk to her. Everyone just kind of starts shaking their heads a little bit, and there's a lot of clamor, upset people, and she's just like, "Can I help you?"
We fell out of the sky.
I don't know. Can you help us, Miss? What is your name?
Oh, well, I'm Seraphina.
Very,
What
very
do you
sad.
fell out of the sky?
Yeah,
That's
I
a good
was.
question.
What is it? Has Grunum freed from this?
Yeah, Grunum is freed. That's why I said everyone kind of shakes their
Well,
head. Grunum's
Just gently punch his shoulder, like, stop staring.
Oh, yeah. I think as soon as Grunum realizes there was some sort of magical effect, he goes right for the stage.
Oh,
Can I
no.
try to grab him?
Actually, a couple other people get in front of you as you're charging. And they're like, what's the meaning of this?
Whoa,
you
whoa,
doing?
whoa! Can we just stop for like 5 seconds?
Yeah, Grunum is like
Jumps back like she is frightened.
I don't
devil
particularly.
magic,
I
I
don't
was
like
just-
it myself.
demons,
I was just walking. I was just.
witch.
Demon?
I was just walking down the Pearl Coast with Ardbert and Zelaphine, and then now I'm here. Fell out of the sky, and now there's a frog and an orc. thing.
Everyone, calm down. There's no need to get violent.
Yeah, she is
I
visibly
am-
shaken and young. She's very young looking.
Grunham
Since
is going to try to like stare down the guys that got in front of him.
They back.
Let's see how this works.
You don't need
Miss-
to. You are a pretty big orc.
yeah.
They've seen orcs, but you look different, and you're wielding a weapon right now. They are just.
Yeah.
They're not. Gonna,
Mr. Grunham, there's no reason to harm these poor individuals.
Okay, but he's still holding that axe. Or
I
what-
know, I'm trying to like gently lower. It's
No,
okay.
he's not charging at the moment, but he looks like he could if he doesn't like what she says in the next few minutes.
Let me see what I can do with you.
She
Mr.
kind of
Grunham,
puts
I
up her hand.
understand. I understand your anger. I fully do. Trust me, I do not like being charmed myself. But I don't think this was intentional.
She goes, I mean, it was, but I mean,
You idiot! I'm trying to help you.
we don't.
Listen.
I'm Serafina. This is my tavern. You're kind of scaring me, so I'm sorry, but
It's okay.
We're allowed to set up taverns, and we soothe the townsfolk. It's kind of what we're paid to do.
Where
I'm
are
sorry
we,
for
though? That's
interrupting.
my big question.
Right now, where we are is interrupting a nice party.
I
And
said
look
the same
around.
thing.
You're making a right fool of everyone.
Yeah, I think Grunham at this point.
Yeah,
like,
you're right, Master Dwarf.
I love it.
I think Grunham at this point looks really, really angry, and in fact, he actually he's so angry he basically just turns around, walks by the bar, grabs whatever bottle is within reach, and walks out the door, and slams it behind him. Like,
I'll pay for that. Don't worry.
like,
Sorry for our friend.
yeah, he's
I'm trying to remain as calm as I can here,
So-
so I don't end up like you.
So, what was it? I guess Grudem walks out and he sees me and Ika, and Ika's doing his own thing, but I'm like talking at him, and I'm like,
didn't
I'm just a lowly transcriber. I really just take the papers that they bring in, and I just retranscribe it down for our records. Really,
Grunham just walks up with this bottle of liquor that he's gotten from apparently the building he went in, and he sits down next to you and glares at both of you, takes a big long drink, and then just shoves it at Feanor and says, "Drink."
Ika looks at you and goes, Ika looks at you and you don't understand, but Feanor would, and he goes, "Foo-fa!" which is, why can't I have a drink?
No, he's probably going to offer you a drink too, but Feanor was talking.
Yeah.
And he
No,
was,
he's trying to
and
do
he's the-
something. Like,
he's
you
an
walked
an
out-
orc barbarian. He's like, "You're talking a lot, and I want someone to drink with me because I'm angry. You drink first." You know?
so my character is like, ooh, an orc bonding ritual. Okay.
That's actually correct, surprisingly.
He grabs the flask and he takes a swig and he just coughs because he can't handle his own liquor.
You just hear from the inside. But don't forget about the snoo.
Yeah.
Marin's just trying to, talk to, what was her name?
Seraphina.
Seraphine. And it's just like,
Serafina.
yeah, sorry, Miss Seraphina, about, barging in like that, but we didn't know what was going on. That and you were using magic on us.
Where is everyone getting the booze from?
There is a bar.
I'm gonna go up and pay for a drink because now the situation is defeated.
Pop up, and they're green, and a little goblin steps on a stool, and he's just like, "Oh, that's quite. Oh, you're fine. You don't need to pay."
Marin looks over and he's like, oh.
Oh no, you just made a big mistake, GM.
I'm gonna look behind me after hearing whoa. I'm gonna be like, don't mind my friend. He hasn't seen anything that isn't human before.
I've seen goblins before.
He leans over to the bar and starts kind of. Do you believe the fact he's never seen a dwarf before? Matter of fact, he's never seen an elf.
Yeah, I
I
just
can't believe it. What kind of person's never seen a dwarf before?
I look back to the thing and I'm like, goblins are nice here, right? Where I come from, they're pretty mean.
Well, mostly.
That's racist.
I'm gonna try and strike up a conversation with the goblin because that's the least weird thing that has happened in the past 15 minutes.
He's humoring you, but he like everyone in there is quite upset. And if you look around, a lot of the townsfolk, they're not just human; they're all sorts of races.
Yeah, I'm just taking this in strides because I have no idea what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Sorry, you racist. So yeah, Seraphina's just like, well, this. I don't understand what you mean by using magic. It's kind of how I don't know how you know or don't know what this is. It's kind of all over the.
Because I'm not from here. I fell out of the sky after some magic-y thing started talking to me.
Can you at least try and explain it a little better than that? You'll make us all look.
I don't know what happened. We were apparently all doing something wherever we came from, and then, like, my head started feeling heavy, right? And I black out. And then this voice starts talking to me and calls itself the entity and says that there's, like, some challenge that it in another half of itself are making.
Can I grab him by the shoulders and just talk over him and say, we are travelers and we have lost our way. Ignore my friend here. He is a little confused.
Damn, that's a good move right there, actually.
Yeah.
Just, we
I
are
like
lost
has-
and we would like some directions.
Yes, he had some mushrooms in the forest. He's a little,
I
what's the right
did
word?
not.
Listen
Don't listen to him.
here.
Don't listen to
I
him.
pull him down and whisper into his ear. If you keep acting like a crazy person, they're gonna kick us out. Do you want information or not?
Well, we've already made a big bug of ourselves already.
Then let me do the talking.
Trying to repair that.
She kind of leans forward. She's like, "You do know you guys are right in front of me, right?"
I'm
Have-
whispering as much as
I
I
know.
can.
I don't know how I got paired with these people.
And I'm looking at her and says, we will come back and talk maybe at a more acceptable time.
Maybe in the morning.
Well, if
Maybe
you're travelers-
another time.
If you're travelers, you can use the beds upstairs. But if you want to stay, I have like another hour.
How much is a room? I've only got a couple gold.
No, it's free.
What? Okay, what kind of business are you running here?
It's
What kind of?
He's going to grab both of you and say, we, as your humble guests, will not look a gift horse in the mouth.
no, I wasn't
Thank you
saying
for your kindness, and we will humbly retire and leave you to your festivities.
Thank you, miss.
Yeah, she just kind of like steps back, really confused, and she just nods.
I'm gonna drag him upstairs.
Ooh.
And as soon as we're out of earshot of people,
What?
I'm gonna be like, what
Near
you trying
him.
to do? Both of you.
You're dragging me. I'm a 7-foot tall baduk.
It's probably
You're-
one of those things where
Then
like
fine,
he's
if you're gonna
holding
be
you
that
by
way,
your
then
clothes.
No,
and
I'll go
just-
with
going...
I'll go with you. It's just, are you taking me by the hand?
Yeah, I'm taking you both by the hand.
Oh
Yes,
my, I'll
the
be
naughty
getting a room,
man-child
mister.
is dragging you both.
Well, I guess we're taking a room.
Well, I, for one, am just going to go to sleep and hope that I wake up from whatever I'm doing right now.
Alright,
Sounds
but in
weird.
case you don't, listen here. When you don't know what's going on, the first thing you do is look around, keep your mouth shut, and figure out what's normal. When you figure out what's normal, then you can work your way from there.
This guy world hops.
You're
Visit.
World
Respect.
Yeah. Can we
you're
put
right,
that-
master. You're right, Master
mi-
Dwarf. I'm sorry.
Mr. Dwarf, out of curiosity, what is your specialty? You appear to be wearing the Good. The Amas, is that what they call it?
Yeah, he's got fine
what?
plate. It's masterwork, every piece.
What
It's
are you
it's
exactly?
mithril half plate. Right?
What
Is it
did-
mithril full plate? It
I think it's
is.
full because you can wear full armor, heavy armor.
Yes,
so.
it's full plate mithril. And he says, "Never mind what I do or why I'm here. I don't know any more than the rest of you. So I suggest we get everyone together, go to sleep, and in the morning, when the entire town is not around to realize we're a bunch of crazy bastards, we can just go. Okay?"
Right. Alright.
Sure, whatever you say, Mr.
Alright,
Dwarf.
Zamzam. It's night night.
I'm gonna go grab other people outside and just let them know, hey, we have rooms, but please don't disturb the guests any more than necessary, the party
So-
any more than necessary.
I'd like to think that
I'd like to
hell.
think we're drunk, yeah. And
Yeah.
like me,
Oh,
like
yeah.
I was thinking my character was saying, I say we're funny on the inside. I mean, have you even seen a gallbladder before?
I think honestly, Grunum is probably not even that far away, standing there just pissing in the street, and he's laughing at this conversation. And he finishes pissing, he turns around, grabs the bottle, and he looks at everybody and goes, "Until the blood of our enemies come to drown us all in glory." Ed raises it up and takes a big long swig and shoves it at Ika Ika and goes, "Drink!"
Yeah, Ika Ika does a particularly slow blink because he's pretty drunk. He takes the bottle, careful not to touch it to its lips, and just takes a giant fucking drink, sets it down, and a whole bunch of gibberish, right? But yeah, no, to the person who can understand him, he's like, this is one of the strangest experiences in my life. I can't believe that somehow I've ended up in a completely different place, transposed completely away from where I feel. Completely away from where I feel comfortable. I miss my home, but this place is kind of weird.
Yeah, and the
he's
music
just
is picked up.
Wait a minute.
No, he's just fucking you can tell, Feanor, you can tell Ika Ika is way smarter than he seems if you can actually understand what he.
Yeah, and my character's response is like, "Oh man, I really hope I remember this night so I can record this."
When Mulch comes outside, I mean, he's gonna curse under his breath and say, "All right, I didn't come here. I didn't willingly come here to babysit beings from another plane. There's beds upstairs if you feel like being somewhat of a decent, civilized whatever. If not, please don't eat anybody when they come out."
Ika Ika points at his jar and goes, "Ika Ika."
I'm sorry, I don't understand what that means.
He climbs into the jar and then goes.
You know what?
Grunum by this point is trying to find a cow or a horse, and he's yelling something about, have you ever punched a cow in the face?"
Oh God, no. Alright, I'm going inside before I get arrested
Sassy.
with that.
Yeah.
Would it have been alright if I went downstairs and actually?
No, go ahead. If you go downstairs, you don't feel the effect that you felt earlier.
Yeah, Marin probably went down after he changed out of his gear. He's just in his small clothes, so a pair of simple trousers and a laced up shirt that's got a really high neck.
Yeah, you don't feel that relaxation anymore, because she's not using it on you.
He's
Now
actually
that she knows better.
he's actually gonna go sit at the bar, and he's just gonna he's very nervously talking to the goblin, but he's trying to learn more about the goblin.
At some point, you will have a dwarf come by and sit next to you. He's not going to say anything to you, but he will be, sitting next.
Yeah, he'll just stage whisper to the dwarf. I'm like, I'm behaving.
Didn't say anything as long as you're not punching cow.
Sassy, can you hear me?
What?
Long story, I don't have time for it.
Can
We may have to post bail tomorrow, but
Can we just
that's not my.
Sassy, can you hear me?
Yeah.
There we go. I got my stupid internet to work. Yeah, I was gonna go outside and talk to Groomish.
Okay. Grunar, yeah.
For
Grunam.
Groom.
Grunam.
Grunam, yeah.
So he walks by me, and I'm like looking over, and I kind of like stumble over, like, where'd Groom go?
I'm like trying to follow him because I'm totally gonna cheer
Let me
him
try
on.
to find the Groom.
I'm totally about to cheer him on if he starts to punch a cow. Like Ika is down for that right now. He's drunk as hell.
Mr. Groom, where are you?
And I feel like depending on how long it takes him to find like a cow or a horse. I mean, he'd punch either one if he finds one fairly quickly. Otherwise, it probably ends with Grunam assaulting a fence post or some stupid shit.
Speaking of assaulting, do I find him?
I mean, you could probably hear him just being like, I'm gonna punch you.
Mr. Groom, if you're looking for something to punch, I'm game.
Oh hell yeah!
Grunam just kind of looks at you and goes, "You're not a cow."
No, but your mother was.
PvP. PvP.
Oh
You
god,
can
what is
find a
punch?
cow pretty easily.
What
They
is it? Okay.
have cattle.
Yeah. So Jester, you did find a cow.
I did find a cow. All right, where is
There you
it?
are.
Roll unarmed attack on it.
Is there unarmed
Where
attack?
is-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's D20
What
plus.
is that? Just a plus
Just
strength?
D20 plus strength. Okay.
Yeah, because you're not proficient in unarmed unless you're a monk or take the unarmed, whatever it is. Feat.
The bar brawler one. Tavern brawler, which
So,
is the best feat in the game.
Yeah.
You can kill someone with a goblin.
20 plus 3.
Just roll strength roll.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
Wait,
just-
so wait. Do we roll athletics or do we roll?
there we go.
All right, so your strength modifier is 3, so you do 4 damage to a cow.
He's punching the cow, not you.
All right.
Punch me, you fucking idiot.
The cow just kind of moves really loudly and starts running off.
How much HP does the cow have?
A good amount, apparently.
Stop punching the cow, you fool!
Double check, 'cause I'm trying to find better.
At this point, Grunam is just laughing. The cow turns around and runs away, and he goes, "And that's what happens when you punch a cow in the face."
Yeah, and Ika's just like woo woo woo,
Just
like,
kind of holding my chin, like scratching it, like, huh.
like throwing his fist above his hair. He's hyped.
Is all of this far enough away from the tavern to not be heard?
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to drag him away so he has something safe to punch.
I don't think Grunam's about to punch anything else. He was just a one-off. It was I want to punch a cow because reasons.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's busy laughing about punching a cow, and he realizes that you're still there trying to talk to him, and he turns around and he looks at you, and he grabs the bottle back from Ika, and he shoves it at you, and he says, "To the blood of our enemies comes to drown us in glory. Drink."
Whatever you say, I do not wish to drown in it, but I will drink it heavensy, and I'll finish the bottle.
Meanwhile, back in the tavern, I look over at Marin looks over at Mulch and is like, "So, how do you know so much about what you should do when you're in a situation like this?"
If I said it never happened to me before, well, I'd probably be lying.
Is this just Bob? Is Mulch Bob?
Yeah, this is Bob.
No.
No, wait. He's a cleric. You know what that means, Mike?
Oh no!
It's
Don't let him
Scruffy's
hear his
soul.
minds.
It's Scruffy transposed to another world.
He looks at you and says, I just have a little bit more common sense than your average dwarf, I suppose.
You've got the most of any dwarf I've ever met.
Didn't you say you've never met a dwarf before?
That's the joke, Master Dwarf.
Look, I don't like jokes. I spent most of my life this far in a monastery to get away from jokes. Unfortunately, it seems that whenever I try and get away from something, the universe turns me into the punchline.
Oh, you and I feel the same there.
He looks at you.
So you could say he's
Really?
dwarven.
Tell me your life story then.
Oh, would you? And he unlaces his shirt enough to show you that there's like a scar over his chest, like a really deep, big puncture wound was there, and he's like, "I've got no heart."
Got no strings.
Did he take the brains out for me at the same time?
No, I just never
Thank
had
you,
those
sire.
to begin with.
Claps you on the shoulder. You're alright by me, human.
He lays his shirts back and he's like, "Yes, basically where I lived, I lived on this place called the Pearl Coast, and I lived in a little fishing village. And then this big monster comes out of nowhere, attacks the village, guards run off, and someone has to do something. So I pick up a fishing pole. Well, I mean like a pole arm, not like a..." And he like makes the motion of throwing out a fishing line. I start running
Right.
up the thing. It knocks me over, says it takes pity on me and wishes for me to grow strong that we may fight at a later date, and then just stabs me in the chest and eats my heart.
And how does one in your predicament live without said or
Well, then I got the ability to cast magic, so I'm guessing it gave me magic.
interesting? So that's officially the second craziest thing I've heard this morning. Tonight, whatever time of day.
It's nice though.
You know, I think for me, it's that we're being followed by a frog that lives in a pot.
I try not to think about that. I'm simultaneously in a party with an elf, a half elf at that, and an orc. Not one of them half orcs that sometimes you see wandering around. A full-blooded orc.
I come busting through the door and I'm like, I heard something about Grunum hitting a cow.
I turn to him and I say,
Gods.
I just look over, look back, and say, we don't know him.
So
We don't know him.
yeah, and like
I'm guessing we then come in with Gruna.
I turn back to the bar with Mulch, and we're both trying to pretend we don't know these people. Like, so I get why orcs are scary, but what do you got against elves?
They always think they're so much better than everyone else. They've got their magic, they live forever, it seems like. And you can never figure out exactly what's going on in those heads of theirs.
When he says
always
perfect,
up
I
to
like stumble and slip and fall on my face.
I love it.
Like that.
Awesome.
Well, he must have missed the brains half of the elf.
Why would anyone
But-
want to live forever?
Well, forever's relative. Him, give him 150 years.
Live that.
Well, I come from people barely live past 50 if they're lucky.
Yeah, we have a saying about humans and where I come from. You get to know a human, and then they die. But if you're lucky, you'll be great friends with their grandchildren.
Huh. You know, you dwarves seem pretty alright.
Thank you. Well,
Have you seen
some
my
of us are all
friend?
right.
We still don't know
I
them.
can't see very well right now.
We're not paying attention to it.
I'd send Zamzam to get him, but I already sent him home.
I tried to find
Then
Gruna.
let's leave it that way. Darwinism, you know?
Who?
Oh no.
You have Darwinism for when
Who? I mean, there was a King Darwin. He was a bit of an arse.
No. Survival of the fittest is a better way to put it. If he can't figure out how to get back to his room, then he doesn't deserve to be in a room.
Oh, that makes
Jefferson.
sense.
Why are my clothes wet?
I think he pissed himself.
Oh god.
Yep, he probably did. Do I care? No. Unless he's bleeding out his arse or something. I don't.
Yeah, Marin finally gets up, and what was the goblin bartender's name?
Oh, his name is Buck.
Yeah, and like, he
likes
tossed
to-
back whatever swill he had ordered. He drinks peasant drink, the kind of unfiltered beer that's basically a meal. And then
Yeah.
he's like, "Thank you, Buck. Sorry for earlier, but I gotta go drag that lout upstairs."
It's okay.
There's still this little bit of him that's like,
Yeah.
Are there any dwarves in this tavern?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
just curious.
I go
I'm
over
not
to
gonna say anything to them. They probably look different than I do, but
I go over to Feanor, and is he still conscious?
No, I'm unconscious.
Well,
Keep him
first
that-
things first, I roll you on your back so that you won't suffocate if you throw up. And then
Thank you.
it takes a
On
while
your
because
back?
Marin's not
You mean-
very.
You mean on his side? You mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or not on his back, like at most like on his stomach, but or on his side, not on his
Remember,
back.
friends, always roll drunk people on their side. This PSA from good old Mike.
Yeah, then like Marin's not very strong, but he's like,
Do you need help with that? The
"Eh,"
dwarf.
and just like starts dragging. Like Feanor's head probably bumps every stair on the way up.
okay. If you're bumping his head on the stairs, I'll
No, one of the
grumble
dwarves
and
walks
get up
up.
off my stool and help you.
No, one of the dwarves. Don't worry. One of the common dwarves, he's like, "Who need help with that?"
I'm gonna
Oh.
wave him aside. All right, fine. He's not your problem. He's ours. Don't worry about it.
That's a weird accent. Just kind of walks off.
At this point, what the fuck is Gru doing?
Ew, he's so heavy.
Because I'm following him around. I'm making sure he doesn't murder someone.
Grunham is probably at this point.
Butt naked running through the forest.
No,
I'm
but I
just
was
hearing that
thinking he was
SpongeBob
probably.
music in the back of my head now. Thanks.
Actually, I don't think he's naked running through the forest, but he probably is in the forest. He's actually kind of, well, he's scavenging for food. That's what he's going to be doing. Because
Are you hungry? Do you need the food, it's a boy?
Grunham's probably good with that survival role.
Yeah. He's hunted down a deer and killed it with his bare hands.
Yeah.
Please don't eat that raw. Please
Soup.
stop eating that raw. No, stop. Oh.
He probably found like a living rock or something.
if he
All of
just-
the rocks are dead, but you were smart enough. You said that rock lives.
No, you grabbed the deer and you suplexed it, and it snapped
Yeah.
its neck.
That's what we. There we go.
That's what we call a Barakvar handshake.
Mr. Gru, stop eating it raw.
Oh no, he's like better this way.
No, it's not. Ah.
Ika, by the way, for his part, is on a tree using Druidcraft to grow giant mushrooms off of a tree
These
until he makes.
townsfolk are gonna be so weird, confused.
Yeah,
Morning, like
there's mushrooms all over town. By the way, like there's like path mushrooms where Ika started outside of the area, like nice and cultivated, to just like growing into like more like problem amounts of mushrooms in like the cow patty and like in the forest, like there's just giant mushrooms everywhere. Like he's just using constantly to be like, mushrooms, it's my shit. Like
Yes, the
I'm growing
townsfolk
it.
will have some good food to eat.
Most of them are not
Yeah,
poisonous.
You know, a couple kids might get by.
They'll learn which ones aren't, and
Mr. Gru, don't add in the mushrooms, you nasty
God damn it.
This world is doomed.
This world is doomed.
This world is doomed.
yeah, I'm
You're the
gonna
heroes I have summoned.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
Pulling his head
drag
right
Feanor to the first empty room that none of us claimed, like me, Mulch, or Xerxes, and be like, push open the door, roll him onto the bed, put him on his side, and then be like, and stay.
Was that? I think I'm mumbling in my sleep, but that's pretty much. I just say a name. I say
Cthulhu.
Rin.
You know this person for 5 minutes, and you're already helping them?
Well, you gotta
I mean,
help
I'm
people.
willing to help a stranger in need, but not when he's gotten himself into trouble like this, of his own volition.
Well, you know, you gotta be the light you want to see in the world. Otherwise, everything's just dark.
Maybe I've lost sight of it.
There's always
Better.
room for more heroes.
Remember, a smile best
Yeah, I was
suits
about
a
to
hero.
say, you know
No.
suits a hero.
An elf just pops by and says that, and he's like, "Go away."
I don't want your cameo.
I think at some point, Grunum will set himself up like a defensible shelter in the forest.
Why are you chopping the trees down? What are you doing? What the hell is wrong with you?
No, he's not that. Not so much as like chopping trees down and stuff,
Fort
but like
Grunum.
but like finding like maybe a cave or something that he can like secure up with a combination of boulders and limbs that have fallen from storms and shit.
You know
You
what? You know what? He's probably safer in there. How about we go back, Mr. Frog?
Ika is like sleeping on top.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll just leave them here. Let's stay here. That horse is not going to get eaten by wolves. It's not my problem.
We're both antisocial anyway, so it's perfect for us being in the.
That's okay.
Was
just making sure.
Ika smart enough to bring his
His sled?
no, his pot so that he can sleep in it?
Oh, of course, yeah. No, Ika always pot with him, because he never knows when he has to sleep. Ika always has his pod.
Just so he can.
Wait till it tips over.
Well, I've also always got the
Oh, I
decanter.
thought that was decanter. I was like, tips over, water just keeps pouring out.
Oh,
like,
no.
Sassy, would I know what the fuck he is?
Never mind, the pot is the decanter.
Yeah.
Cool. He always has that. It's like a backpack thing.
Did you say I would know what he is?
What do you mean, what?
Like what species he is?
They've experimented on those where you come from.
Probably, yeah. No, you're probably not wrong.
Yeah, no, I mean, you focus on aquatic creatures. He's
Yeah.
a rainforest creature, so semi-aquatic. If you have access to a rainforest, you probably know what a grung is.
I'm going to be. I wouldn't doubt it. I'd probably check to make sure his pot doesn't tip over.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
put
I
it
see.
in. You put the top on.
And no one will know what he went.
And then I will go back and then I will see what the hell is going.
By now, she's done singing. Most of the townfolk have gone home. The bar is kind of empty. The
Is she
goblins
still there?
She is going upstairs as well.
The dwarf will be at the bar still.
Before she goes upstairs, I'd simply just stop her for a second and say, I do want to apologize for the interruption.
Okay, it's fine.
It wasn't very right. I would pay you with reparations, but we are sort of new events here.
There's no payment necessary.
Your music is very, I guess you could say, charming, as always.
But Tish.
She's like she turns to go back upstairs, muttering.
What a strange person.
You know, you're like the kind of race that she's probably not seen before.
Yeah.
But there's so many different races, you know, she might not know where
This
you're
is
from.
like the moment she comes up and sees Marin leaving that room. Is like, stay. Closes the door. Sees her. Is like,
Oh, if it's then, all right, then I would
Hermes.
be with you if you had just put
Oh.
him to bed. All right.
and just
Like,
sees.
is the bartender still downstairs?
He's actually packing up, and he has a little room in the back of the bar. It's a decent room.
I want to toss him a gold.
He kind of looks at it. It's like, I told you, no payments necessary. He just kind of.
It's fuzzy excellent service for my idiot friends outside.
Eh,
Okay. He just kind of looks at it and just sets it under the bar somewhere.
he eats it.
That's his way of reparations for them, being dead.
But yeah, Marin. Nah, Marin's
To
not
kind
gonna.
of clarify, what would be a good amount of gold for a level 5 character? I should probably give you.
Oh, level 5 would be between 500 to 1,000.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll say you got like 750. Nice.
Yeah.
You guys have a good amount of gold.
I
for
only
your-
have.
Right.
That is
you-
because of my background.
Yeah,
I
you probably
intentionally want
don't-
to have very
just
little,
go-
also because of my background.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll
I'm a
say you
folk
can have
hero.
up to 750. Your choice.
I probably would have a lot due to my.
Yeah, that's fine. You're from a science-heavy world kind of thing, so.
But
I'm
Yeah,
a
I'd be
raider.
somewhat comfortable, so it'd be up there, but
yeah,
not too high.
actually, Fan.
True, orcs are marauders and raiders. I might have gathered that kind of loot, so
Yeah.
that's your problem.
Marin will probably actually sleep in the same room as Feanor, just like bring in his bedroll and put it on the floor just so in case Feanor starts choking in the night, he can make sure he doesn't die.
I'm pretty sure I will end up puking over the night, so.
Yeah.
Is there any animals outside the tavern? Like, I'm just
Hey,
gonna
if he
walk
dies,
down
just
the
let
stairs.
me know. I'll bring him back to life.
Well, that and I can use prestidigitation to clean up the vomit.
I can animate dead.
You
That is
sick
not
fuck.
the same thing, and you know
You
it.
sick
It-
bastard.
It's late at night. You mainly just hear crickets and stuff. There's not really any animals out near the town.
Good.
Except for one sad moo out in
Yeah.
the middle of the forest.
I mean,
Can
there's-
I go look for that cow, please?
It's not in the forest. It wasn't a pen. He climbed the fence, walked up to a cow, punched it, ran to the other side,
know.
and all the other cattle just started spreading out too until he left, and they went back to grazing.
Is it injured? Is it like really injured?
Not really. It's probably got a bruise. It's gonna hurt for a while, but it'll heal back up.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna try to heal him.
Yeah. He did a good amount of damage, but cows are cows. They're sturdy creatures.
Cow tipping.
Yeah.
I mean, he would have hit it dead center on the skull. He would have hit that sweet spot and killed it.
Yeah.
I have to watch over ZZD. Oh, who's that? Oh, that's. Sassy, your own mic is it?
So I'm assuming you're all like going to bed in your respective areas.
Yes, you're probably. Yeah, Mulch is planning on waking up early to do all of his meditation-y stuff and things.
Yeah, that's fine. At the
Prepare
crack of
different
dawn,
spells.
You hear noises of like picking up things, cleaning, and all that. So you probably, if anything, you probably wake up to that or the sun coming out the window.
Yeah, he's gonna, kneel and do the, do his, praying, God of creation, dwarf crafts and protection. Moradin forged us from blah 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 blah. Yeah, he's gonna repeat his little cant over and over and do his little meditation-y thing.
Okay. Well, what's everyone else doing? Like, how are you waking up with?
Same thing, I guess. Pray to my god.
I think probably, surprisingly, Grunum is one of the first people up. He's already out fishing.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, Ika probably wakes up pretty early too, because when you live out on your own, you have a lot of things to do in the day and not a lot of time. So
Yeah.
he probably wakes up also at the crack of dawn, pops out of his little thing, and I don't know, probably just does his normal morning routine, finds a creek to bathe in, all that jazz.
Marin, for his part, when he gets up, Feanor, you'd see him like cast a ritual to where he can bring Zam Zam back. And that's when you notice that before he takes the fruit bat form, Zam Zam is just some kind of fey creature that chooses that form. Then he's going to go downstairs and like have some breakfast and like roll out on the table. He has this thing that's made out of like reed slates all bound up together. And for those who are very versed in the arcane, or probably Mulch because he is a realm hopper, it's a map
Yeah.
of the D&D multiverse. So it's got things like here's the astral plane, here's the elemental chaos, here's the Shadowfell.
Where'd you get your hands on something like that?
I made it.
Oh, really?
I have weird dreams about these places.
Oh, okay. He looks a little relieved. I thought you were gonna tell me, I've been here and here and here. I was about to be a little.
No, but when I cast spells, I call things from here and here and here.
He looks at you and it goes pale. Oh, you're one of those. All right, good.
I finally catch up with them because I'm probably one of the last ones. With a
You're
bad hangover.
hungover as shit.
Yeah. Hey, look who didn't die last night.
When you come downstairs, there's a female goblin, and she's kind of cleaning up right now. Seraphina's down there as well. And as soon as they see you, the female goblin kind of scurries off to the kitchen. And after like literally only a few minutes, like she's probably already got stuff cooking. She walks out with a plate.
This is very unnatural. I'm not used to being served.
I am. What happened last night?
The
got
orc
knocked out
punched a
drunk.
cow.
Not at the same time. That hurts.
You got
The,
knocked out drunk. I carried you up to your room. You threw up like 3 times last night.
Yeah,
I'm
you almost
sorry.
died. You almost died.
I drank a lot. Note he did not. He did not drink a lot, but he's saying that he did.
I'll let you have that, Sid. Oh yeah, the orc decided to be crazy and punch a fucking cow.
He did what?
Yeah, he went up and I tried to stop him. But I couldn't stop him. I genuinely tried.
Say that a little louder. I don't think the whole bar's heard you yet.
Oh, there's really no one there except Seraphina and the goblin, female
Well,
one.
yeah, but anybody hears it. And hey, does someone have a bruised or dead cow? These are his response.
If it was dead, I would pay for the reparations.
If it's dead, it'd be good meat.
That's true. It will make the good hamburgers.
You know, I never really liked beef before. More of a fish person.
You don't
what
like
am I?
putting the meat in your mouth?
You're a weird little thing, aren't you?
So where is our large friend?
Oh, I have no idea. I just left him in a cave.
Where's our frog, too?
Same thing, left him in a tree.
You left the frog in the tree.
You lost
Yeah.
the party members.
Alright.
They wanted to be left alone, so I set them down.
He's Feanor's eating his food right now.
Yeah, the goblins brought out a couple more plates for each of you. It's just kind of porridge, just standard.
Oh,
Thank you, ma'am.
You can tell that Marin's from working peasant stock because when he eats quick and he eats a lot.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
The
Sorry.
goblin's staring at you eating this, like, you're very hungry, aren't you?
Like,
It's not going anywhere, mate.
He's like has to like stop for a second. He's like, oh, wait. You gotta, you gotta.
Just kind of like scurries back into the kitchen.
You
Comes
gotta.
back out with like a half-filled bowl. She's like, I have to make some. Give me a bit.
You gotta eat a lot if you're gonna work for the day.
Odd question, and this will sound very weird from any of you. Do any of you happen to have any fish on?
Yeah, but I'm pretty good at fishing. If you want, I could take you down to the nearest creek.
I could very much use that. My Tesla coil could use that.
Can I make
Your what?
chef to fish a survival check?
Yeah.
Oh,
actually,
this
if you
this
guys
thing.
go down to the nearby river, you'll
I
probably
mean,
find
I've never gone fishing myself. I've usually just had
No.
the fish.
I know how to fish.
I don't think I really need a fishing rod as I start pulling a javelin off my bow.
Wow. Okay. So the orc. I'm assuming you rolled that survival fish, right?
I
no,
rolled that.
him. Earlier.
Oh, yeah.
So he's pulling up like fish, a smaller, medium
I've got
fish,
a net.
and then you look up and you see your new frog friend, a net, just swooping through the river, and it just comes up with like 4 fish.
That's
know.
what they do.
You know how
That's
how I fish?
With a spear?
Firebolt.
Firebolt.
Oh, dynamite.
That's
fish. Oh,
cheating.
Cloud of daggers.
Yeah, I just
That's going to fucking ruin the fish. What is wrong
I
with
just
you?
point at a spot in the river, and they're not big daggers, but they do look like fish gutting knives.
Can I just dive into the river and spear one?
Yeah, what's left?
Yeah, no, we fished that river dry as fuck.
Well, it's not just that. There is.
Grunum's already
Holy
pulled
fish.
a couple of fish out of this place before you guys ever woke up.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
in the
no.
process of
Oh.
he's finishing up. He's already got
I
like
need to
some of the
just-
deer being turned into jerky.
Real quick, I want to describe the flavor of what his cloud of daggers is. He summons a bladeling.
What?
They're basically they're I think they're a fiend, aren't they? They're a
They're
kind of
basically-
humanoid that are like made of. They look like a human with swords, basically just sticking out of their skin. And
Yeah.
it just
I
goes
know what
to
you're
the
talking
point
about.
he
They're from the-
indicates,
So
and just
I'm kind.
throws out
Sorry.
these daggers in a cloud around it until he desummons it.
So basically, I think I'm coming out of the hangover. Like my vision's coming better. It was really bright until this point, and all I see now is just red everywhere and
Yep.
water.
Yep.
I would like to think that Ika and Grunum both fishing at like the
Oh, yeah.
same time way earlier, and we're sitting around a campfire, not talking to each other, eating fish.
The fish isn't even for me. It's
Well, it's probably packed away a couple of extra fish for like, the travel or whatever, turning some of the deer he hunted down into jerky,
Right.
Yeah,
And
like
Grunum's not this. A lot of what he's doing here actually has some real purpose. I mean, he's
Yeah.
a survivalist. He has to survive off the land.
Same here. Ika would probably help you if you let him, and he would probably be pretty happy actually having someone to help, like, do some of the minutia.
oh, like if you guys would let him, Marin would actually do all the gross shit like gutting and cutting them.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
you have
good.
at work that's name is Gutfisher.
Yeah, yeah.
odd question, Jim. Could I try and get a nice little branch and just spit out?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there's a sleuth of dead fish floating down the river, though.
Oh no, the branch isn't for that.
No, I
Oh,
picked
okay.
up all the fish my cloud of daggers killed. Took a while, but
This was a running stream, and there was.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was like basically playing a mini game of I have it going, and as they come downstream, I'm picking them up.
stuffing a sack full of fish. If you don't have a sack, Ika has a sack. He will open up for the fish.
Yeah, and he's just like, how's Ika react to him like just drawing in the book, and then this monstrosity runs into the river and starts creating a cloud of daggers around it.
Ika, when he sees that, runs and cowers because Ika is incredibly superstitious, and fiends are very bad luck.
Yeah, but then eventually he like just snaps his fingers and it disappears. When he,
Ika runs up to you and is like, "Whew, come on, sir, Ika."
I'm afraid I don't know, little one.
What did he say?
What did you say?
Ika said, "You summoned a demon, or you summoned evil. You summoned devil."
So he says, you summon devil.
Well, technically, I think that thing was actually a demon. There actually is a difference, but that's how all my magic
I was
works.
trying to figure out.
You're
Yeah, he's
smart,
like-
Alec.
He's like, that's how all my magic works is, well, not always demons. Don't worry about that. Sometimes it's the spirit of a dragon. That's how I throw out fire bolts and things like that. Sometimes it's a storm elemental. I mean, Zamzam here is not really a bat. And he holds out Zamzam, who just, like, looks at Ika and then just unfurls his wings.
Ika does that slow double blink thing, as he like looks at it, and then he just like looks back, just like expectantly at Marin, just like.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
the fish. Okay, you take these one. Let's divide and conquer. You
There's
take
a
these
reason
ones.
I brought the stick.
Take these ones. I'll take these ones over to Grunum, and I'll clean these ones.
By the way, does anybody mention the fact that, like, make notice of the fact that there's several giant mushrooms that were probably not part of this forest?
There's a reason I'm getting the stick.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Marin will be like, were those here last night?
Ika just like points at like a small patch under a small mushrooms grow.
Mushroom.
Mushrooms. He's like, ew.
Badger.
Those
Yeah, like a badger runs by.
those aren't the
Yeah.
bad.
Yay!
Those
While
aren't
all
the
of this
bad
is going
kind, are
on.
they?
up,
It
Cyrus?
looks at you and does the slow double blink again. Like he's like bad mushrooms. What do you mean?
What's up,
And
Cyrus?
Marin,
While
like,
all of this is going
mine's
on, am I able to
choking.
talk to the owner of the bar? You know, the one we kind of freaked out yesterday because we interrupted, their...
Yeah, she's sweeping right now. Sweeping up all the dust and whatnot.
Alright, so where do I begin this? First, I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Mulch. I am unwittingly a member of this party that is currently outside doing gods know what. How... Where are we?
Well, you're in Briar Glen. This is my tavern, the Grove Tavern.
Mm-hmm. Where is Briar Grove?
Briar Glen.
Sorry, Briar Glen.
It's in Zetro?
Do I recognize that name?
No, it's just the name of the country fair thing.
Okay. Okay. Where is that? I don't believe I recognize that.
What do you mean?
You see, my friends, he, almost kind of chokes on the word, and we were brought together by several interesting circumstances. We don't exactly know who each other are, and we don't know where we are exactly.
Okay. Well, you're, like I said, in Zetro, which is, I guess, on Felone, which is the continent we're on. I really don't know what else to tell you.
What is the date?
Oh, come on. She gives you a date. I can't.
Oh.
That's a whole complicated thing I'd have.
Well, but is it a date like ours, or is it just completely different from something I'm used to?
It's a different world, so it's going to be different dates.
That's as much as I feared. Is there a place nearby we could go talk to somebody well versed in magic?
Well, most of this area is just small settlements, but you could head towards the capital?
Okay. Which way is that?
It's going to be further northeast.
Okay,
It's called Tiara.
Is it a few days, a few weeks?
It's going to be a few days by foot.
Okay. When I'm there, who should I talk to?
I don't really know much about it, but there's, let's see, if you're in probably magical, there's the college.
Ah, that's good. That's very good. Yes, thank you. And I apologize for interrupting your party last night. What was it for? Just buy me, if you don't mind me.
Well, it's no party, it's just a thing we do every night. Everyone comes in and I sing them to a relaxing state, and we just enjoy each other's company till it's time to go to bed.
Interesting. Do you always treat strangers so nicely?
Sorry, say that again.
Do you always treat strangers so nicely?
Yeah, I mean, we have these taverns set up to welcome strangers and to soothe the townsfolk.
You get strangers here often?
Yeah, there's a main road nearby. They sometimes come if they're needing somewhere to stop as it's getting dark.
And how do you keep this tavern open?
Everyone pitches in. It's just part of the agreement.
He gives her just an odd look.
Um,
Interesting.
Yeah, it's you'll find a tavern like this run by my kind in nearly every settlement.
What kind of gods are here?
Um, well, we don't really. I don't know much about gods. Um, you could probably find out from the capital. I'm not really
Alright.
religious. I just do what the queen says, and here I am.
Oh, the queen. What's her name?
Arya?
I know she's getting lots of very, very odd questions,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, no,
you know,
you're putting the GM through his pace.
No, I had this stuff prepared. So she is definitely confused because this is all common knowledge, obviously, and she's figured you're definitely not from around here. That's for sure.
he says, "All right, I should explain myself. I am a disciple of a god named Moradin. I come from a land, well, from what you've told me, very, very far from here. My friends and I, well, we ended up meeting each other only last night, and we have a lot of things to figure out. I am, again, thank you for your time. I am sorry that we had to interrupt you in the way we did, and we shan't stay much longer.
No worries. Just remember, any place you go, you can find one of our taverns and find a place to rest.
He looks at you. One of your taps.
Yeah, it's the agreement. We all run these taverns. The townsfolk help out. We give them our songs to make them relax, help them relax, and it's just part of the agreement and contract that we have.
Who's we?
The sirens.
He's
Oh, they're not people.
I'm gonna do a double take and she's not human, is she?
He like sits back.
I thought they were just bards.
Hold on. He's gonna like look at her up and down again. She is a siren.
Yeah, I mean, she looks like a human right now.
Oh,
I mean, does that? What's that? What? Oh.
Where I come from, sirens are right pissers.
so he's messing with his beard right now. I should mention, Mulch is bald, but he has this huge red beard.
Nice.
Fiery red beard that he likes to mess with a lot. And he says, so, when I said I'm from, a distance away, we have, well, obviously certain misconceptions, or at least tales about sirens that are obviously not applicable here.
Well, I mean, I think a long time ago, my kind used to do things that we don't really appreciate. But a long time ago, Arya made a contract with the rest of, well, mankind, and we got to this agreement where we run these taverns, we help the folk, and we can live in peace with them.
That is an interesting development. Thank you very much. He says it that way too. What?
I'm fucking scared.
We should get the fuck out of here.
He puts his fist to his chest and bows, and it was a great honor to meet you.
Yeah. Did someone say get the fuck out of here and for like out loud?
No.
None of us are there.
No,
Okay.
this
I
is
was gonna say
probably,
it's just me talking to him.
I was gonna
Sorry.
say this is probably like the point where we just kick it, not literally, but we like come in the door. We're just like
We have hundreds
all
of fish.
of this
All of the
cured
fish.
fish meat.
Yeah.
All right, if they come in, I'm gonna turn around and say, "Hey guys, I
Marin
think
just
we've
goes, "We got
overstayed our welcome."
rations."
I walk up to the lady and I point at her and I go, "You sing?"
Oh,
You're-
and Grunham is not with him. He won't go anywhere near that place. He's actually like performing some quasi spiritual like ritual for over
Punching
his deer meat.
cows.
Hi,
Gordon, you
want some of these mushrooms?
Right.
She looks down at the frog and she's like, I do, and I've never seen one of you before. And she kind of reaches down.
Don't touch him, don't touch him, don't touch him. He's poison.
Burn! Burn!
Oh, dear, you poor thing.
And he like looks and goes, Song of Kings?
Song of Kings.
Alright, that's what we're here looking for.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you're looking for Song of Kings, I think
That's right.
you would go to the capital because that's where Arya is.
Everything's in the cap. Everything.
The dwarf is actually going to say, yes, as a matter of fact, I thought we should head to the capital as soon as possible.
Yeah. She.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, we got enough fish to last us a week.
I take a small little like twine trinket I like put together. I give it to her. I bow, and then we leave. Like that's all. It could bows and then leaves.
I probably hand her like a some wrap.
I did like a little wicker doll thing, like
Oh,
a
okay.
tiny little one, like
Yeah,
like
she-
literally like 5 sticks that are all tied together.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she holds it.
Blair
gingerly.
Frog Project.
I go up to her and I apologize. I'm like, I'm sorry we haven't had the pleasure to actually converse. I do hope that I haven't caused much of trouble. I will say I really appreciate your hospitality. It was very, very nice.
Of course, anytime.
I'm gonna go. Is the goblin cook still there?
Yeah, she's now like just cleaning the bar, just hanging out.
Yeah, I go up to her before we leave, and I like hand her a wrapped thing of like cleaned and cooked and like preserved, basically salted fish. I'm like,
Oh.
here you go. Make up for all that I ate.
Thank you.
Everyone earns their keep. I love it.
I'll have Bob cook this tonight. Thank you.
Right on. Anyway, Zamzam,
I'm going to be trying to hurriedly get people out of here.
Not scared of the
Hey,
sun?
what's the rush? What's going on?
Listen, I can. We just have a long trip ahead of us, and I don't want to be stuck with you any longer than I have to.
It kinda
Zamzam.
looks like you're just like he looks and he nods in agreement. He's just like, yeah, these people are fucked.
Zamzam like climbs on top of Marin's head, looks over at the Siren Lady, and gives her like that suspicious narrow eye stare.
She's just back to her sweeping.
Come on, hey, let's go. Let's go. We've got a long trip ahead of us, and my feet aren't used to walking like they used to.
Come find us, dwarf. Come find us.
And then like, yeah, Marin's like,
Am I
"Alright,
able to get everybody together to leave?
all right, off we go." And
Yes, we leave.
Yeah,
Zamzam,
I mean,
like,
really, yeah, really.
Grunam's demeanor has changed back to like very closed off and business like. He goes back to taking point. Just because.
All right. So I'm going to explain this once for everybody in earshot. Okay. The bars in this world are run by sirens. Okay.
No, I'm out of here. I'm gone.
Really? That is fascinating.
like
They're not experiments to be tampered with, okay? They're actual things that will do some terrible things to you if you give them a chance to, okay?
when you mention,
Oh, come on. Is
Under
it a snip
contract
snip?
with the king or the queen, whoever's in charge here. But that does not necessarily mean that they have any duties in regards to us, okay?
Fair enough. I could
um,
learn more at their, library over in the capital, I suppose.
like when you mention sirens, Zamzam had like cuddled up on, or like nestled into Marin's head, or just like draped over it to sleep, and he whipped his head so far around you hear a little as he.
Yes, little friend. I know. Sirens.
Well, no, because he got flung off his head,
Oh, there we go.
and then just starts clamoring back, going. Or no, it's probably he's actually Zamzam actually can speak, but it's only in Sylvan. So it's like Achner Detaturi. Yeah, very Irish. Gladair
Let's see. I don't understand Sylvan. Nope.
What is it saying?
I do.
Yeah.
I speak all languages. Tell me.
Zamzam was just like, it was like, God's forbid that you ever sit still for a moment.
Ika looks and says in Sylvan, which is way more graceful than the language he normally speaks. Like, you hear him just be like, I know, these things are so twitchy. I hate it. And then he does a slow blink.
Yeah. Zamzam just looks to you and is like, Queen Mab insists I help the son.
So I'm staring at this interaction, and then like quickly pull out my book and start pulling out my quill and start writing down everything that's going on right now.
Ika, are these mushrooms edible?
Some of them.
Yeah, I mean, like, Ika,
I was like, as you guys were leaving, the townsfolk were probably collecting the mushrooms. Like,
I mean,
oh.
not okay. So not all the mushrooms are edible. Ika probably hell dancing around, like literally dancing around, like placing mushrooms wherever he went, and he probably didn't have much discretion. The ones, I mean, he probably would have, if you asked him, he would have pointed out one of the edible mushrooms.
That's what I'm asking. I have a giant fucking shish kebab of like maybe 50 of them.
Oh, I like point at like 3 of them, and I'm like, I say in Grung, don't eat those ones, you'll die.
Okay, I toss those away.
Marin looks at the mushrooms on the stick and he's like, "Only are those the fun mushrooms?"
Maybe. We're about to find out as I eat one.
Ika looks at you and goes, and he just like nods with this giant fucking grin.
Xeraxis, can I have one?
Can you handle this, little one?
Ika
I'm not a
is now the
kid.
party drug dealer.
God damn it.
Okay, I will hand him one of the good mushrooms.
I'd like to have one as well.
Not a kid.
Are you okay? Okay, I don't think the person that. Okay, you know what? Fuck it, I'll give it to him.
So I take it and I just pocket it.
I was about to say, don't eat that.
I eat mine. I offer a little bit to Zamzam, who has it.
Oh no!
Can they trip dick? That is the question.
Yes, they can.
What, you think con save?
Yeah, it'd probably be a con save.
14?
14 sounds about right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
let me
tripping my
make our
fucking
saves.
ass
Alright, Xeraxis is tripping.
Yeah.
It's gonna be funny when Marin does. It's like,
Welcome to Pairodice Theater, where if there aren't drugs in the campaign, you're not playing.
Oh, Mary.
I was trying to fail, so this makes sense.
Marin
Well-
feels a
Oh
tingle.
my god, they both passed.
Yeah, you two
Freedom
have a
just-
lovely but nice feeling. You're perfectly fine, but it feels nice.
Yeah, you're seeing some patterns everywhere. It's pretty rad, but you're not like.
Maybe this is like we're having good trips and Xeraxis is having like a really bad one.
Oh yeah, the world, like the ground is breathing right now.
Yeah, I think Grunham just kind of looks at them kind of relatively confused, like, this is not the right time for a spirit journey.
Yeah,
I know, mate. I don't understand. He's actually
Why
talking.
are you talking to me, Giant Flower?
It is always the right time for a spirit journey, my friend. That is the philosophy of Ika.
The dwarf actually looks at you, Grunham, and says, "I know, mate. I can't understand these people either."
Marin just is holding one of his arms out so that Zamzam has like something he can hang upside down from, and he's just got his arms out limp and his giant bat eyes just staring off into the distance.
Nice.
And Marin
So-
just is like, haha.
Do I see like anything in the sky just randomly flying, like birds or anything?
Oh, clouds are like forming into shapes and they're turning into animals and moving
Good.
like the animals across. the
Is
sky.
there any specific like crows though? For one reason,
The clouds are turning into crows. Some of them.
I'll spit at the sky.
All right.
All right.
Marin's just
That
like,
spit falls right back onto your face. Yeah, it goes through the water and it just kind of rains down around you. We'll say since it's your own acid spit, it doesn't hurt you. You're just kind of covered in it.
Ika is like Ika knows acid, knows acid spells, so he like leaps back, and in Grung you hear him. Everyone else hears like ha, whoop, ah, like sort of thing. But like you hear him like, what?
Whoa, little rabbit, what are you screaming?
Marin just looks over at Ika and is like, "Were you always pink?"
Yes, thank you, GM.
I don't care. I feel colors.
Oh,
Yeah, Grunham is actually looking for signs in the physical world rather than spirit journey as he tries to find his way to a destination he doesn't particularly agree with.
Can I?
as
Ika
you,
is dragging his sled and just like looks over and goes, weird people. Like,
as you're traveling down this like trodden path from the town, you do see like what looks like a main road. It's cleared out, like flattened dirt. That, as you were told, northeast heads to the capital, or yeah, and southwest heads who knows where.
Marin's singing at this point.
So I just finished a documentation of the effects of mushrooms on various creatures.
You don't even know what I am.
Mushroom into the book, basically, as a a documentation of what is actually the thing that they're taking, basically.
yeah.
Marin's just like, "Their axes gleamed throughout the night. Their brows were wrathful,
Yeah,
bold."
make a performance with this disadvantage.
I will also make a pamphlet performance because
I will try and play my.
Oh dear.
It's just,
Okay, so
it's just like the worst.
yeah, Marin, make a disadvantage. Okay. and-
Yes, yes, it's perfect.
awful.
we are the best band. Yo, put us on stage. We're like walking through fucking like the forest just as this shit.
Yeah.
The other three of
Never an axeman can fell.
What did I do
against
to
the
deserve this,
snow.
Moradin? What did I do?
You existed, elf.
I think
Did you
it's
just call me a bloody elf?
Yes.
worst thing ever.
Really?
Sirens would be sad.
Yeah.
There is a
This
siren
is
in the distance.
awkward. Are you talking to him? Are you talking to me?
No, dwarf.
Wait, he's not a
Ah.
dwarf. Wait, what is Marin to you then? He's like, wait, that's not a dwarf. That's a dwarf.
That's a good question.
You're
I
just like,
hate
oh
both of
god,
you."
a tiefling.
It's a tief. Yeah, I actually rolled for it. It's a tief.
And I'm just like, what's a tiefling?
Well, take his little devils and then.
Devils,
And
where?
I just fall flat on my face laughing my ass off.
They're
Oh.
folks with horns and they're red.
Oh, black spirits. Black spirits and white spirits.
That's close enough, I suppose. As good as any.
Do
You
you
start
guys,
sobering up, Zaraxis.
yeah, do you guys have, in your world, they kind of look like a head with a giant eye in the center and more eyes around them?
Yes, one was my professor.
Those things are assholes.
Nice. I like it.
Especially the ones that are just bone.
The holder was his professor.
Oh.
The ones that are all bone, they just summon more bones. Look at the
Mine-
bones.
What do you like the bones? Do they give you the what is the correct word here? The wood on?
No, I'm having a flashback to the fucking Death Tyrant. That's what we called it.
Oh, they call. Oh wait, so the headmaster.
It was
Headmaster.
awful. It was awful. There were zombies everywhere. You wanna know what's worse than a zombie? A zombie harpy.
What is a happy?
A harpy, it's like they look like a lady, but they've got like chicken legs and they've got wings.
So my
Are you
ex.
talking about my ex-wife?
That sounds. Yeah, that sounds like my ex-wife. As well.
Everyone's like, my ex-wife.
You were married?
That sounds like my fourth wife. She was bitch.
Is that a question?
Were you married?
Yes.
Were you married to a fish?
I'm not going to answer that question.
That means yes.
No. I hate you so much right now. Can I actually try to pick Ika Ika?
He probably won't let you.
Would you let me Ika Ika?
What was the question?
He wants to pick
May
you
I-
up.
Ika like looks at his like skin and then
I know the consequences.
he shrugs and he sets down his shit and like holds out his arms.
I want to see what if this will work.
Okay. I weigh 5 pounds, by the way.
This is your band of
I
heroes.
try to lick his arm.
What?
What?
Well, you
I try to get high off of.
Yeah, he definitely.
You probably
no.
won't get high. Like it's poison dart frog poison, so it's.
I
it's
feel
not
nothing.
Don't do
I
this
guess-
at home.
I guess I just have enough acid in my mouth.
Dear
Oh, baby.
children watching Paradise Theater, if you ever come across a frogman, do not pick it up and do not lick it.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't.
This is all for entertainment purposes. Do not follow the simple directions of Zarak.
But
And Ika like looks at the area. This look of utter disgust. He does the double slow blink again, and then sticks his arm in his decanter and just vigorously starts washing it. He, like,
I want to apologize for that, and I will make sure to give you reparations. But I had to know for sure.
I said you
this
guys
is
are
probably-
traveling on the road. You are passing like other travelers, like carts of people.
People probably
God.
must be weird. They see me licking a fucking frog.
There was
First-
a couple on the wagon that just saw you pick up a frog and lick it, and they just kind of both looked at each other, and you could tell like the farmer kind of whipped the reins a little bit, and the horse picked up speed.
He's like they're both giving each other
Like
Oh,
foreigners.
oh, that's not even fair.
but
this weird sex pervert shit.
I do want to apologize, though. I was just curious out of my own curiosity for my
this
He
is
like
about the
looks at you with this look of just like you can tell like just by reading his face. He's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
This is
I had to know for the research. Also, I should tell. I'll look to who was the other researcher?
I am.
Feanor.
Feanor.
JJ. I would look to you and say, I don't actually feel anything from zicking him.
This is about the time that Marin
I mean,
sobers up.
I was wondering. I got a tingly feeling, and it really, honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
I'm surprised. I legitimately thought I would get extraordinarily high or paralyzed.
It's at this point that Marin like snaps on. He was like, "Wow, not doing that again. That was weird."
Obviously, I'm not doing it again.
and then,
I don't need to repeat the same research.
And then Zamzam is just back on his head again, and you guys who can understand Sylvan hear him whisper, "I can see through time."
yeah! Yeah! I love this back.
That's
Fantastic.
Grimace, would you like one of the mushrooms?
Don't do it. Everything gets really weird.
Don't listen to him. He's just crazy.
I look over at Groomish and go,
Grunum,
Grunum.
no, Grunum's like, no time for spirit journey.
That's fair.
Huh.
Ika shrugs and pops one of the mushrooms himself as he walks.
Does
it's just-
Ika, when he eat, does he do that frog thing where they don't really, they kind of just go, no.
Yeah.
And if anything is sticking out, he like rubs his hand on it to try and push it in.
Well, he does have tiny little sharp teeth, but that's mainly for meat. So yeah, he pretty much just
Yeah,
eats things.
so do all frogs have tiny teeth.
I
Yes,
didn't-
it's terrifying.
Wow, hold on, I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah,
now.
they have teeth. They have teeth
have-
on the upper jaw, and then they have two little clusters of them way back in their palate.
Yeah, it's terrifying. Don't look it up.
Toads
Children.
don't though.
As you guys are traveling, you see a bunch of armored men on horses coming swiftly your way.
Oh God,
yeah.
they reported our
I-
sexual misconduct.
No, they are dead set. Just they're staring straight ahead, but they are going fast towards your
I
direction.
will move
get out of the
everyone
way.
out of the way.
Yeah,
Pull
get
them
out of
off
way.
the road, please.
Yeah, no, I pull everybody off the road.
Grunum's got his axe up, You know, these guys come in right out. Like
Yeah,
he'll
Marin.
get off the road because he's not stupid enough to let a horse
Right.
run over him, but he's definitely on the ready.
Yeah,
You
Marin,
know,
like he gets out of the way
Grunum,
of
come
Tor.
on. Let's get off the road for them.
Yeah,
No, they charge right past. There's about 20 men on horseback.
Oh,
Mar-
It's a long
why
wait.
don't you slow down?
They don't stop or anything. They keep going. They're intent on something.
Marin
Fucking
looks
assholes.
over at
They're all in uniform though.
he looks over at
Armored.
Grunum and he goes, not to be rude, but next time you see a contingent of knights coming by, don't pull a weapon on them.
He isn't technically wrong.
he just kind of looks at you both like, "Are you fucking stupid?" And he turns around and goes back to walking. Like,
I do agree we will defend ourselves, but I don't see a reason to attack 20 armed men. We are outnumbered.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and they weren't coming out. They were going past us, not at us.
Yeah.
Grunum's already walking forward. He's already continuing.
There is no changing the mind of someone who has a dead set on battle. I understand.
So he like there
Why
was
would
like he's reacted to the circumstances with civilization pretty much very
Why
similarly.
would you want to be set on battle? Killing's an awful
Well,
thing.
Well, normally, I try to contain my anger myself. I do not like to. What is the right word? You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
I'm just saying, when you have to fight and kill something, it should be a last resort, not just because you want to.
I do agree. I do not fear death is the circumstance necessary.
I think it's 1:30. I think this is a good point.
All right.
I think you guys have gotten a lot of good moments. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
I'll
Oh.
say like we'll do a little in scene. Nothing as dramatic as like just a mic, but it'll be the cameras looking at all of you, each other walking on this main road, and it's just gonna pan up, showing the road ahead, and you'll just see fields on some sides, forest, a couple bigger settlements, and then in the distance, see a huge metropolis with a couple towers, and yeah, it'll cut there.
Nice.
Also,
Everyone
are you
clap.
Are you saying that my end scenes aren't dramatic?
Clap.
No, I think the other.
I actually meant to say you. I'm tired. I'm sorry.
No. Damage is done.
Okay, I'll kill off Susanna for you.
It'll be hard with that bow.
He'll miss everything. Yeah, like normal. Yeah. So I guess we'll do sign offs, and then we'll start with Abracadabra. Let's go ahead and start with Jester the King.
Yay!
The juice.
Oh, I am Zerat the Just King, and I have been playing Grunum the Gut Fisher, Orcish Storm Herald Barbarian. We're just getting to know him so far. That I'm trying to balance the stereotype of the orc with the spiritual side here, because he does have he's very superstitious, has a very spiritual side. You can also catch me here when I do Just as a Grab Bag on the odd Saturday nights, doing different games and whatnot. Of course, you can certainly catch me on Monday nights where I do the Fire Strike, with my favorite band of space pirates and space terrorists. And you can also catch me here on Realms of Refuge on Tuesday nights where I play Pitiful. Do it Drunken Bird style with the Drunken Master Kinku. You can also occasionally find me on my other channel of Zerat, where I play video games. I really mean to get back to Heavy Rain. I just haven't. I've just been really busy lately. I'm going to get back to it, I promise. And I think that's it for me. I'm just going to kick this one along down the line. Whoever's next.
Let's go with James.
Hi ho, friendolos. My name is James, also known as Nightheart, and you have seen me today playing Marin Farcaller, the summoner who he's just a good boy. He just wants to do right by people. He was not meant to be an adventurer. The adventuring life chose. He didn't choose the summoner life. The summoner life chose him. Him and his adorable little fey bat Zam Zam, who we will hopefully get to see go on a whole lot of other adventures and see him grow as a person. You can also find me here on Mondays, where I'm very excited to reveal the new, some might argue improved, Ezzy, well, as we go into Season 3, also known as Goddammit Slef.
Ah,
Um,
I wasn't the only cause. Whenever things blew up, I reacted reasonably. It was people around me who acted insane after things blew up. Thank you very much.
and you can also find me here on Tuesdays, where I am the DM of Realm of Refuge. A 5e campaign like this makes me very sad now that Pathfinder 2 is out, because Pathfinder 2 is inherently better. But everybody's going through this new world where they're going to have to fight some hags in order to free the king of all the Fae and get some wishes. I'll get you, my pretties, and your little dog too.
God dang it.
But yeah, and you catch me here on Thursday because I'm in way too many games, which I get to play Scyphol, the lovable little Tibbet, who's still asking the question after his first battle of who the fuck stabs a cat. Who's definitely going to have to learn a lot about how to be a cat spy, so that people quit stabbing the cat. And you can find me here in this game, obviously, and occasionally in just as grab bag whenever we do Flesh and Fire. Always love it. Yeah, that's all of the crap I'm in.
All right, let's go to Doc.
Oh, Scheiße. And so, I am Doc. I played Zeraxis, Gilles Nesteporak. I also I technically play Fox in the Tuesday game as well. I don't know the development, but things might be changing. And that's what we need.
Okay, let's go to. We'll do Mike.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mike, also known as Win5Get1. Catch me on Monday nights where I play Slef Rat Man, whose life is just fucking doo-doo right now, bro. Hi! You can also catch me on Tuesdays where I get to pray. This must be protected at all times. Right now, she's actually on an adventure, like a real adventure, where she's not constantly she's in her element and simultaneously also not in her element, which is pretty awesome. I'm really enjoying this one. You can catch me on Thursdays where I'm running the Legacy Stramdex, which is my third generation Legacy, where we just had a combat where everybody kind of got the ever-living shit kicked out of them, but they won. So that's the important part. That was pretty fun, actually. Yeah, we've got a lot of really interesting shit coming up this next Saturday. We're going to start getting more into the meat and potatoes of this initial plot hook here. And then on Saturdays, you can catch me in Black Box Theater whenever I do it. You can catch me just as Grab Bag whenever I do it. You can catch me playing Ika tonight, who is he's a fun character. I'm still trying to get him dialed in just right, but I think by the end of the session I got pretty much about set where I wanted him to be and how I wanted him to be, so that's fun. And yeah, I think that will do it for me.
All right, let's go to Cyrus Smith.
What just happened? Okay, my name is Cyrus Smith, and today we had Mulch. Mulch, the healer, the going to be most likely tank. Somehow he's also the face of the party because nobody knows how to, behave when you've suddenly been transported into another dimension, apparently.
You're supposed to get high, man. You're supposed to get high.
And you could probably tack babysitter, diplomat, and probably like 15 other things onto that list. You can also catch me playing Legacy of Strandex on Thursday with Heracles, the paladin who is having his morals tested. I understand it didn't get caught in the stream last time, but shit happened, and Heracles he's not talking, which anybody who knows Heracles knows that's bad. And you can also catch me on Tuesday playing Kyra Axe Grinder. No, not really, but it feels like it.
I've
Let's see
cucked
what
you
else.
from having combat.
You know what? At this point, I could take it or leave it, because what's going to happen is I'm going to probably roll like out of 15 rolls, like one double-digit number, because that's just the way it seems to go with Roll20. Yeah, we got our asses kicked with us that fight with in Stramdex, so I'm just not eager to get back into combat again so soon.
Oh, and Daniel will never let me live that game down.
Oh, yeah, but you can also catch me on Black Box Theater. Let's see, I believe some Friday we're going to be doing a one-shot with Jesta, doing a Starfinder one-shot. I'm just going to say...
Yeah, we can do that. Oh, sorry, I was on mute and I forgot where
No
mute
problem.
was. Like,
Some Friday.
You should do a Pathfinder 2.0.
But you can also catch me on YouTube. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just going to finish this up before we all start talking. Catch me on YouTube at Cyrus Smith, doing lots of stuff there. So that's it. Kick the can down.
Yep, that leaves JJ. I don't know if you've seen the sign-offs before,
Kick the can down.
but you do you.
Yeah.
All right. So this is JJW. I do voice acting. I'm into that. You can follow me on Twitter on Mad Lips. I put up dubs of various videos. Just whatever's on my mind, I'll just put up a funny video here and there. You can catch me at JJW Voice on Instagram, Mad Lips, and Twitter.
What's your Twitter? I gotta look this up later. I mean, like
JJW Voice.
Nice.
Yep.
all right.
The newest member of our team, by
Yes,
the way.
newest member. I would like to
Debut
extend a
tonight.
formal welcome.
Trial by fire, because that was like, not only was it the first session for the DM, give it up to the DM guys,
Yes.
Yes.
and then I came in last second. Like I didn't know I was gonna be on until like last night. So I mean, this was I'm glad that I got to play with him. I hope I didn't give him too much of a hard time.
Yeah, I guess that bounces to me, and holy shit, guys! Like, this was amazing. I was so nervous, and then you guys you ran most of this session. I didn't need to do much. I threw you an NPC. I'm glad you didn't kill her. I figured there was a possibility. I planned for either killing her, so that's good. I have learned sirens are important in this world. And
Do you just think that we're murder hobos?
Well, one of you, Orc.
I tried to stop him. I tried.
No, I had every intention of letting that situation resolve non-violently. It's just the character had to react violently in that situation. And suddenly you realize barbarians are mistrustful of magic, orcs are mistrustful of magic, and nobody likes it when they find out they've been charmed.
Yeah, and I threw this at you guys because I wanted you to know what to really expect further down the road, because you're going to be hit with these kind of dilemmas. Not everything's going to be as it's, and that's what I want to go for.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
So that got me excited. Oh my god, sorry. I've been smiling nonstop. You are all amazing in this. Oh, fuck. Okay, yeah, I'm Sassy McNasty. I DM for this Spark of Fate on Saturdays, every once in a while. And you can catch me on Mondays as Tavis, the envoy turned operator, one of the only who left Fire Strike and Spitfire PC wise. We'll see how that's going to happen. That'll be interesting. And he's the voice of reason on that. And then you can catch me as Reason on Tuesdays, Realm of Refuge. Theme. And with his lovely little snake. And yeah, and then on Thursdays for Legacy of Strandex, you can catch me as Johan, the kind of like, you know, Gypsy Rogue, who got knocked out by his what he thought was companions for 10 rounds.
Your fault for getting in the way of my magic.
You chose. Let me point this out. He had an option to hit me or someone else. He chose me.
Yeah, because you weren't the giant.
Well, maybe if she was knocked out, she massacred that guy. So you know, give and take.
Catch grab bags for either. I almost said Realm of Refuge. Sorry, I've been up for a long time. You can catch me as Harbinger. There we go, on Flesh and Fire, and on the Legacy Wrestling. You can catch me as Bear the Boulder Breaker.
Oh yeah.
And I am so excited for that. Oof. And yeah, I thank you all again. It's been an amazing session, and I cannot wait to do the next one. I was worried I'd be like, it's okay. This call. I want to continue this for you guys.
Yeah.
I love your characters. I love the what's it called, interactions you all did together. It was glorious, and you all fit, like I said, to the point where I wanted you to be willing to work together, but you can still have these conflicts. So it's perfect. I love it. Thank you. And yeah, that's it. I don't have a sign off yet for everyone. I mean, we almost had to do R.I.P. Cal, but thankfully you didn't one shot it.
So I guess our sign off is just.
Ika, our sign off is
I only play background characters. I need to stop doing that.
Anyway, with that, we all wish you a.